The Delaware State Fair began a century ago during a vastly different time for the state and nation. Despite the turmoil and difficulties that faced the country, a few townspeople gathered in Harrington, Delaware, with a dream that was much bigger than them. As the history and the story of the fair's past and present unfolds, be sure to take notice of the numerous people that have contributed to the planning and the execution of this July tradition. This Treasured Memories video series is a salute to our past, our volunteers, and most importantly, our supporters. Our fair relies on their heartfelt commitment year after year to provide a joyous experience for hundreds of thousands of fairgoers. The Delaware State Fair would like to thank Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield Delaware for their continued support of the Delaware State Fair and the support of this video storybook. This is our story, our Centennial Celebration. This is the Delaware State Fair. A handful of townspeople gathered in the Harrington Railroad Station in 1919 with a dream, a vision, and the ultimate dedication to make our first fair a reality.
Well, the history says that there were a group of guys, Harringtonians, who sat around congregated at the train station, the old train station, a lot. And one thing led to another, and I guess given the agriculture in the area and the interest of those guys, they virtually decided to start a fair. And they proceeded to do that, acquiring a little bit of acreage in the area where the present fair exists, and then growing out from that as more people got interested, and they established a board of directors and got shareholders involved, and but it did grow out of that idea around the old train station.
In order to fund the first fair, the board of directors sold shares of capital stock at $25 apiece. Enough shares were sold, and the first fair was set for July 27th through the 30th, 1920. The years that follow stayed true to the original foundation to promote agriculture, provide entertainment, and to be the social event of the year in Delaware.
But the fair has meant a lot to Harrington, and I can remember going back many years as a child, every business in the town of Harrington closed at 1 o'clock, fair week, so that the employees could go out to the fair. It was a social gathering back in the 50s and 60s. Women did not wear shorts and jeans like we do today, and it is fun to go out there and sit and talk and just visit with people you sometimes don't see. But year to year at the fair, it means a lot to the community of Harrington, and I think everyone in Harrington enjoys the fair.
The mission of the Delaware State Fair focuses on the preservation of the past, promotion of the present, and the education in the future of agriculture, horticulture, mechanical arts, and rural and domestic economy. Agriculture and such industries have maintained a strong presence in Delaware for generations.
Of course, the fair started out for the farmers showing their animals, and it's come a long ways.
The fair is Delaware's celebration of a state culture and industry that has become a mix of high-tech business models and family-run operations.
I remember Jim Straits saying many times, the owner of Straight shows, don't ever forget your roots. And his theory was that people can go to see entertainment, and they can go to get rides at a lot of different places, but they can't come and see agriculture like you have here. See the animals, bring their kids to relive part of their history. And that's what we're doing with this 100th anniversary. We're reliving our history and reminding ourselves of where we came from and the good things that have changed over the years. There's been many good things.
We lived on a farm, had no electricity, and this was in 1934, and I was 4 years old, and my father came to he and Uncle Britt, they had the concessions to sell racing programs. We had horse racing Tuesday through Saturday, or Tuesday through Friday, and automobile racing on Saturday. And I wanted to come to the fair, and Dad said, you cannot go until you're 6 years old and you know how to count. And he let me come to the fair the first year I was 6 years old, he let me sell programs at the west end of the grandstand. And I sold 200, 10 cents a piece.
One thing that I remember is everybody dressed up for the fair. Almost like everybody dressed up on the boardwalk, at night when you went to the boardwalk. But everyone dressed up, and even the men, I remember during the daytime, often wore suits and ties. And the fair weather.
Our fair consistently takes place during the last part of July, and history has shown just how intense and unpredictable the weather in Delaware can be during that time. It has become a part of our story to learn and adapt to whatever the week might bring and make the best of every moment.
Well, I think it's part of our American heritage, really. The old country fair still exists in a great way. You can see animals, you can see all sorts of people, you can see people that you haven't seen. That's one of the big thrills for me, is when I left the fair, people used to say, "Do you miss the fair?" I miss the people. I see people at the fair that I don't see any other time of the year, but I see them at the fair. They're all there at the fair. And if you want to get the feel for what Delaware is all like, what it's about, and you want to meet people and see what the people of Delaware are like, that's why you should come to the Delaware State Fair.
This is our story, our Centennial Celebration. This is the Delaware State Fair.